Love and affection, no fear of rejection. This I know is true. Peace and contentment, no need for resentment. This I found in you. This I found in you.
What up, Dream Team? What's up, family, friends, and everybody alike? Yeah, we're going to do something a little different today. Because this show I'm going to do right now it should be personal to a lot of people. Because we all been played with. We all been babooned. So let me go ahead and change the vibe real quick. That leads me into this thing. Let's go. Same rules apply though.
I can see your eyes staring into darkness, trying to find the light, girl. And you're all alone. The man that's gone and breaking up your happy home. Don't you worry, pretty baby. You take a chance, hoping that you'll find your lucky star. Oh, do you know who you are? Oh, heaven's girl. Baby, just hold on. Heaven. Baby, just hold on. Hold on. Sugar, hold on. Oh, girl, hold on, yeah. Heaven's girl. Baby, just hold on. Don't you be afraid to hold on. My baby, you say cast your fears, hold me and I'll take away your painful tears, girl. 'Cause I know your heart, I'll be there to mend it when it's torn apart. Yeah, my baby. Just believe in me. I will show you things you've never seen. Do you know what I mean? Oh, heaven's girl. I'm asking you, I'm asking you. Oh, heaven's girl. I'm down on my knees begging you, please. Hold on, baby, hold on for me. Take a chance, yeah, hoping Do you know who you are? Heaven, heaven, girl. Heaven, just hold on, baby, hold on, baby, hold on. Heaven's girl is what you are to me. Hold on, hold on. I'm talking to the world. You gotta hold on, yeah. Listen, babe, when the sun comes up, I'll tell you I love you. And when the sun goes down, I'll say a prayer for you. You don't have to question heaven's love for you. Baby, reach for me. I'll hold out my hand for you. When you can't find a friend, when you can't find a friend, when you can't find a friend nowhere, hold on. Talking to the world. Baby, keep it rolling on. Baby, keep it rolling on. You gotta keep on. You gotta keep on. Keep searching, baby.
But I know that there's more for you, more for us.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking that pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking that pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking that pandemic.
Say you love it, what you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We have tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spank you. That ass down, gotta make it last now. Spread out so, and I'ma beat it up. I hate to do this, but no, I have to. I have to talk to somebody. Oh, I know I've read all the articles, seen all the photographs, pictures of you and me in the magazine. I did all the interviews, and not once did I mention you. Let the billboards walk right by you. I didn't want to make a scene because we agreed to keep it on the hush. Don't want everybody knowing about us. And I vow that forever I keep my word, baby. But I'm telling you now, the secret is driving me crazy. And I'm tired of creeping around with you. Girl, I wanna be with you. Tell me what the hell are we gonna do all night? Oh, 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 baby. We can't let the industry know, because our cover will be blown. If anybody is or so happens to see, girl, you've got your career and I've got family, and girl, that's why we can't let the industry know, no, no. Because our cover will be blown. Don't want it to be known, gotta keep it on the low. Nobody, girl, we can't let the industry know. Wait, said you be my shelter in the midst of stormy weather. Texts of you telling me you are my umbrella. Girl, I just don't know what to do anymore. You and me on the QT is killing me slow. And even though I'm a little younger than you, it's okay. And I'm starting to feel that if people found out, then girl, it's okay. But then I saw you up in his arms when I been on up in a video. I was so pissed that I jumped right up and went straight to the studio. Because we agreed to keep it on the hush. Don't want everybody knowing about us. And I vow that forever I'll keep my word, baby. But I'm telling you now, the secret is driving me crazy. And I'm tired of creeping around with you. Girl, I wanna be with you. Tell me what the hell are we gonna do? I'm like, oh, 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 baby, we can't let the industry know, because our cover will be blown. Will be blown. Anybody here so happens to see, you've got your career, I've got family, and girl, that's why we can't let the industry know, no, no, because our cover will be blown. Don't want it to be known, gotta keep it on the low. Baby, we can't let the industry. We have got to be careful. If we don't want nobody to get hurt.
What's up, y'all?
We've got to keep it private.
Let's go.
Girl, this relationship to ourselves.
Let's go.
Though I agree, girl, it's killing me. Why do we have to hide from the industry? Baby girl, I'm tired of sneaking and creeping with one another. Every day it gets harder for me being your secret lover.
Just to let the industry know.
Because our cover will be blown. Anybody here so happens to see us. You got your career, I've got family. That's why we can't let the industry know. Because our cover will be blown. Will be blown. Want it to be known. Keep it on the low. We can let the industry know what they do behind closed doors.
What up? 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 What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I had to lace that real quick. Had to drop that R. Kelly before I get into it, because y'all know what's going on today. We gonna get into some real hot commentary. But I want to say this, man. If you on Instagram, designs by a goddess, whoever that is, good God Almighty. That's all I can say. Good God Almighty. The shoes that she designed is off the chain. She hot. Got to give it to her. I mean, she hot. She's hot. Her work is hot. I got to put that out there. We're going to talk about some things today. And I don't think people going to like it. I don't think people going to like it. I'm going to make a lot of the elites mad today. I am officially, hold on. Hold on. I am officially boycotting Disney today. I said it before, but I am officially boycotting Disney for good. It's sickening. It's very sickening what's going on. Very, very, very sickening. And I'm looking at something real quick before I jump into this, because I'm gonna show you how we just got played with. I'm gonna show you how we just got laughed at. And when I say we, I mean us as a colored people, us as the real melanated people. We just got played with. Sickening, man. Sickening. 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 And I'm going to show y'all why. All right. First things first. We're going to get down to it. We're going to get down to it. What up, Dream Team? How y'all doing? If y'all want to donate to the channel, you go ahead and hit $ official Dana J on a Cash App. Don't forget to go sign up for my Patreon. I got a $5 tier. And my Patreon is patreon.com official Dana J. You know what I mean? Just bringing y'all straight commentary today, man. It's sickening what's going on. I can no longer play with people when I see what's going on. I have a different agenda now, and it's sickening. We're going to talk about a little R. Kelly today. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about a little R. Kelly today. We're going to talk about a little London on the track. Oh, yeah. I wonder why Cheryl Mack ain't doing what she did to London, what she did to, doing what she did to London as to what she did to R. Kelly. I wonder why. We're going to talk a little Kyrie Irving today. We're going to talk a little Meek Mill. We're going to talk George Harrison. We're going to talk about the judge unsealing the names for the pedophile. And we're going to close it out with a little Bob Yeager. I hate coming to y'all like this because we got to get serious. We have to get serious. And getting serious, some things got to change. When you get serious, some things have to change. Some things got to change. Some things got to change. All right, let's get out of the way. Let's do it. Some things have to change. Now, last night at the AMAs, we seen some crazy stuff go down. If you tuned in because you wanted to see Chris Brown, you got disappointed. Chris Brown did not show up because at the last minute they canceled Michael Jackson's. They canceled Michael Jackson's. What you call it? They canceled his tribute. They canceled Michael Jackson tribute. which is stupid. How you going to cancel Michael Jackson? And one of the things that they said was Chris Brown was going to have a R. Kelly song in his tribute, which was 9 times out of 10 correct. 9 times out of 10, they were correct about that. Because Chris ain't gonna do anything without putting the R in it. No matter how you look at it, Chris Brown is not going to do anything without putting the R in it. I don't blame you, Miss Virgo. I didn't watch the bull crap neither. We need to stop dealing with those folks. Let them do what they do, and we start our own. However, we don't take our own seriously. That's the sad part. We don't take our own award show seriously. Sorry, but not sorry. So let's go ahead. This is how it all started. A lot of people saying that they don't know. Well, I'm going to bring it to you. This is how it all started. Check this out.
And the American Music Award goes to Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown is not here tonight, so I'm accepting this award on his behalf. Excuse me, chill out.
It was a section over there booing. Now make it make sense. Who's going to go to the AMAs and boo? None other than the elites. So pay attention. I'm gonna run this back for you. Pay attention. Check this out. And I applaud Kelly Rowland, but this will be her last time presenting at the AMAs. Watch this.
And the American Music Award goes to Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown is not here tonight, so I'm accepting this award on his behalf. Excuse me, chill out. But I want to tell Chris, thank you so much for making great R&B music. And I want to tell him, thank you for being an incredible performer. I'll take this award, bring it to you. I love you. Congratulations. And congratulations to all the nominees in this category.
That was done with elegance and class. But Chris said, if y'all not going to let me do my tribute, I'm not showing up to none of your stuff. So what up, Prima? Which in turns that Chris Brown, they're going to try to blackball him again. Now, moving from Chris Brown, and I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. Moving to Chris Brown, moving on to R. Kelly. Let's go here. United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. At a stated term of the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit held at the Thurgood Marshall United States Courthouse, 40 Foley Square, in the city of New York on the 15th day of November, 2022, before Eunice C. Lee, Circuit Judge, United States of America appellee. You got the order. Robert Sylvester Kelly, aka R. Kelly. Stop. You see how they have Robert Sylvester Kelly in proper form. But what they did was, Bonjean now can operate. She put R. Kelly in proper form again. Instead of putting it in corporate form, R. Kelly is not a person. R. Kelly is a corporation. But appellant moves to supplement the record on appeal with the restitution hearing transcript of September 28, 2022. Appellant also requests that the court vacate his briefing deadline of December the 20th, 2022, and allow him to request a new briefing schedule once the final restitution order is entered. It is hereby ordered that the motion is granted. Appellant must file a new schedule letter within 14 days after entry of the final restitution order. From the court, Catherine O'Hagan Wolf, clerk of court. All right, here we go. Motion to supplement record on appeal and modify briefing schedule pursuant to local rule 31-2. Now comes defendant appellant Robert Sylvester Kelly by and through his counsel at Bonjane Law Group PLLC, and respectfully moves this court to supplement the record on appeal and to modify the briefing schedule pursuant to local rule 31-2. In support of this motion, defendant states Mr. Kelly filed a notice of appeal in the underlying case 2019-CR00286 on September the 9th, 2022, pursuant to local rule 31.2A1A. The deadline for an appellant's opening brief is within 91 days of receipt of the last transcript. On September the 20th, 2022, Mr. Kelly received what was, at the time, the last transcript and proposed the deadline of December the 20th, 2022 to file his opening brief. This court ordered the same. That's 4. It's 3. 4. Subsequent to Mr. Kelly filing his notice of appeal, the parties continue to litigate issues of restitution in the underlying case. The government filed a supplemental restitution submission on September the 9th, 2022. Mr. Kelly responded on September 21st, 2022. A restitution hearing was held on September 28th, 2022. At that hearing, the court ordered restitution for one victim, denied it for another, and reserved judgment as to a third. What? At that hearing, the court ordered restitution for one victim, which was Azriel, denied it for another, which was Sonia, and reserved judgment as to a third, that was Faith Rogers. The court asked for additional supplemental letters and has not yet entered a final order on restitution. Mr. Kelly received the transcript from the restitution hearing on October 18th, 2022. In order for this court to give a full and fair hearing to Mr. Kelly's appeal, the record must be supplemented with the transcript of the restitution hearing and the restitution order once it is entered. Mr. Kelly intends to appeal the restitution order, but is unable to fully brief or identify all the issues on appeal until the lower court enters its final appeal. Mr. Kelly is optimistic that the district court judge will decide on a remaining restitution issue soon. But until the court does so, the issue is not ripe for appeal. Requiring Mr. Kelly to file his opening brief before the restitution is ordered and then prepare for a supplemental brief at a later date is unnecessarily laborious and overly complicated. It is in the interest. Hold on. It is in the interest of that. It is in the interest of judicial economy that the briefing be streamlined and complete as to all the issues at the same time. It benefits the parties and this court to await the final restitution order before requiring Mr. Kelly to file his opening brief. The government has indicated they have no objection to this request. Wherefore, defendant respectfully requests that the record on appeal be supplemented with the attached transcript of the restitution hearing of September 28th, 2022. B, that the briefing deadline of December 20th, 2022 be stricken, and that Mr. Kelly be given the opportunity to request a modified briefing schedule once the final restitution order is entered and received, or in the alternative, that he be given a modified deadline of January the 17th, 2023 to file his brief, or another later date this court deems fair and just. Here's the briefing. Supplemental record on appeal and modify. You see the opening page for it. So right now, Mr. Kelly is getting ready for a dog fight. He's getting ready to come and fight the government. And he's letting the government know that no matter what y'all do, I'm innocent. No matter what y'all say, I'm innocent. And if y'all can't understand that, then guess what? Y'all just can't understand it. It's not his fault that they don't understand. So, with that being said, they say R. Kelly is a monster. Now, look at how the government protects their own. Look at how the pedophile community protects their own. Here we go, London on the track. Mind you, baby mama number 2, girl number 3. London on the track seemingly responds to Ebony. Using any child for money and clout is just insane. Here we go. Ebony said, I'm saying it loud and clear, and I mean it from the bottom of my soul. At Shensia, you and your little nasty son stay away from my daughter. Whoa. Whoa. That's direct shots. Then Ebony posted, and for everyone saying call police, yeah, all that's documented. But a kid doesn't get locked up or even talked to. I don't know what they got going on with this, but look what they put together. London on the track and R. Kelly. So let's go here. You have allegations on R. Kelly, right? Some people say, oh, no, them allegations, they were true because he got locked up in 2 different districts. You have allegations on R. Kelly. Everybody went crazy over DocuLive. But you have London on the track with allegations. Nobody moving. Nobody saying nothing. Which clearly made me say, you know what? I got to look deeper into this. I got to look deeper into this. I got to remove my feelings and I got to put the deeper side of what's really going on. London on the track is not a target. His mama did what the government told her to do. Now, let's go here. Everybody say, oh, the victims in R. Kelly. Oh, them victims lied. They did this, they did this. But I had to take my feelings out of it also. A lot of people ain't going to like me for this. Because what I'm about to say is about to hurt a lot of feelings. But a lot of people say, oh, the victims lied. But if the inner people that Robert trusted, the people who were given immunity for their story, and they worked out a deal that the government did not have to display who they are publicly. Some of the very same people you see gracing these platforms. That's why I stopped going to everybody's platform. I seen all I need to see. I heard all I need to hear. Now, here comes the vindication of Robert. The same people, and I'm going to go here. It's a separate list that the government and the defense team see, heard, looked at. The defense shared it with Robert. The only problem is Robert can't say nothing. Neither can the defense. Neither can the government. There's a list called the witness list. And on that witness list, you have everybody that told and gave a story. What we all miss was, how was the feds able to come in and unravel Robert's operation if Robert was so private, as we always know? All we know is that Robert was very private. Certain things Robert didn't discuss. But it was the very people that he trusted. Cheryl Mack, the Mayweather twins, Cash Howard. I mean, there's some things I had to look at yesterday. There's a lot more I can say. But they on this list. And people was like, well, why didn't he testify? Maybe they was on that list. And if they was on that list as giving a story to the defense, giving it to the prosecution, why would the defense bring them on? That would have made that would have made Bonjean look stupid. Now, I listened to an interview with Lily, and I said I wasn't going to go here, but I have to. I listened to an interview, and I heard her come out and say, oh, Azriel told me that her father did this and did this. Okay. Now, I have questions, and I'm not accusing Lily of nothing. I'm just going to say what the paperwork said. In no jurisdiction, Chicago or New York, did it say that Azriel talked and told Lily that Angelo did any remotely thing like that to her. But it did say in the New York paperwork that Azriel said it publicly that Angelo did something to her. It's a difference. It's in the paperwork that she came publicly and said that. But it's not in the paperwork that she told Lily that. However, it is in the paperwork that Lily name was named one of the people that sexually assaulted many of the so-called victims. Now, I sat back and I listened and I watched. If any of that was false, why Lily didn't offer a lawsuit against the federal government? We seen Cardi B do it to Tasha K. And we seen Nicki Minaj do it to Nosy Ho. We seen actors do it to their personal ex-loved ones. Hell, we even seen Black Lives Matter get sued for slanderous stuff and theft and crime. So it puzzled me because my question was, if that was fake and if that was a lie, as she said on Sean Harris' wife network, she said that that was false. So if that was false, why didn't you offer or proffer the federal government to change that and to come out with an explanation and said they misquoted it or anything? I do remember that every time it was an inklet of the federal government coming down to get Lily, allegedly to get Lily. Lily had a seizure. She had a stroke. She had a heart attack. She had 3 months to live. She couldn't remember nothing. She ain't know nothing. She ain't know nobody. The R. Kelly trial being over, getting ready for the appeals, and now she back to normal and know everything. I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened. Because none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. How you go through all that traumatic stuff, and as soon as the case is over, you fine. Chicago case pop up, you dead dancing. Wait, I thought you didn't remember nobody. I thought you wanted to stay out of the buffoonery. So when I see stuff like that, I get to the point where I just be like, y'all can miss me with that. Now I have my own mind. Can't nobody tell me, oh, nephew, this. You can't tell me this no more. Because I'm looking at it like, if it was me, I don't want sometimey motherfuckers around me. As if you're going to go hard or go home. That's my motto. But then you say you reached out to the lawyers. Well, you know, so because I know the lawyers, I had to ask. I said, well, did Lily reach out to y'all? And the question that came to me was how? Wasn't she sick half the time? Which makes me think, and I'm not saying that she's part of the turncoat crew, but what I am saying is I find it ironic that she's been there 30 years. Nobody called her to testify. Right? But she hanging and dwelling with the people that made it their business to make sure Rob didn't get a bond or possibly never come home. I just don't understand that. Now, if you over there getting information and you over there debating and you over there whatever, that's fine. Because when me and Larry was talking, me and Larry ain't talking about R. Kelly. We ain't talking the trial. Hell, me, Larry, Levi, we talked about politics. That's what we was setting up to have a debate about politics. But I'm just sitting here wondering, like, I know the stuff that was done to me by Lily. And I forgave her. I don't hold grudges. Only with certain people. But I forgave her. Because I know the stuff she did to me. But when I look at the way different people talked on the internet, when I looked at different channels, it was no difference. Hey, Mama Mary, it was no difference. It was the same jargon. So I start questioning certain things, and I start going to certain people. And I said, yo, I thought Lily was in the hospital. Oh no, she cool now, she chilling. One thing I do know, because I used to work in shock trauma in Baltimore, that when you have something chronic and critical like that, you don't just snap back like that. I don't care how good God is to you. It's a process in coming back. You have to learn how to walk again. Some people got to learn how to talk again. Some people got to learn how to use their limbs again. But to go through all that and then jump up like nothing's wrong. Even Lazarus had to, when he died, he had to learn how to use his limbs and stuff again. That part right there, faces, she was on her deathbed. So when people see the frustration over here, we got questions. We got questions. Now, for the people that lied on me about putting out a false receipt, no, I didn't do that. I'm not the one who said that lady beat up Azriel and Joy and all of them and ate their booty. That ain't come from me. When it came to me, I was like, man, you joking. You sure? And it was corroborated by two people. And then later on that day, two more people corroborated the story. And they was like, well, Dana, since you know Lily and you call her your aunt, yo, were you in it too? Because we're going to look at you some kind of way. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What are you talking about? I know nothing about that. That part right there, Ashley. So my whole goal today is to link some points. If you're for Robert, then fine. But I'm lost. Sylvia lied about a lot of things, but they didn't have enough time to lie about this story. And then when I sat and thought about it, Lily ran to Dr. Rogers the very next day and said, I told him what I wanted to tell him just to see how far it was going to go. You don't say nothing like that. So then I said, maybe they was telling the truth. And then when Sidbo came and told me word for word what was said, I was like, damn. Aaron Brookshire, check this out. You say, this is what I mean when I say and retarded folks. Watch this. I'm sorry I can't listen to a person that R. Kelly don't call ever. Tell me nonsense about Kel's god sister. Watch this. And I'm gonna break it down here. How you know Rob don't call me? Why? Because I don't come and tell y'all. And how do you know that Rob called Lily? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You don't know who Rob called. I know one person Rob called repeatedly, and that's Joy. So, Ern, if you're saying I'm talking about it, no, I'm not. These are questions that are arising. Just like y'all question me, I have that right to question the next person. Make it make sense. If you're going to sit there and say this and this and this, here's my question. Where were you at when it was unconventional and uncomfortable to talk about Robert Kelly? These are my questions. Everybody that want to talk now comes out when it's okay to talk about Robert again. Where were y'all when it wasn't comfortable to talk about Robert? Where were y'all when the world was against Robert? Now that it's lighting up a little bit and they playing Robert music, I'm talking about the time when if you play Robert music, you would get scolded. You lost jobs. You got thrown out of churches. So Ern, I wish you luck, but don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Because I'm going to bring my commentary and I'm going to say what I'm going to say respectfully. Something that John said I can't do. Anywho, I just don't know. I just don't know. Because you're on recordings saying, Dana's my nephew. I love Dana. This and this and this and this. Oh, Dana, Rob told me a cold word, but only y'all know. Oh, Dana, this and this. But then behind the scenes, you're trying to get people identity just so you can give it back to the people that's trying to exploit people that's trying to help Robert. I'm not understanding. And once again, I don't have nothing against Lily. But these are questions that I'm going to ask when I see her. These are questions. And see, one thing I do is I keep quiet about a lot of stuff. If I opened up about half the stuff I know, YouTube will be no more. But when the government first came out, nobody paid attention to this. They said they had 200 witnesses against Robert. That was for New York alone. They came back and said they had 57 witnesses for Chicago. Stop. Make this make sense. You had 200 witnesses for New York alone, but only 45 testified. That means you have 155 that got immunity deals to tell you lies about Robert because they were mad or whatever. And the government took what they said, compiled it, and came up with indictments. Then the more they ran back and gave other people immunity deals that you would never know, they got more indictments. They got superseding indictments. So the question is, who was on the witness list? We will never know. If Robert come out and say something, he can face lawsuits. But the only thing I tell you is you need to watch the actions when Robert come home against certain people. Second thing is this. Look at who disappears. Now, I'm going to tell you Infiltration 101. Here's my question. When the last time you seen Block? And you seen him on an interview with who? right? But the real reason why I stepped away from Block is because I knew he was trying to get deep into Robert's camp. The question is why? And Block ain't start getting his way until after he talked to Don. But I can't blame this all on Don. I can blame majority of it on Don, but I can't blame it all on Don. And I'm going to tell you why. Don has been sent to prison. He got 20 months so far. He waiting on another sentencing. So why the real ones, me, Prima, Sky, Levi, Hollywood, and some others, T. Stevens, some others, while we fighting for Robert and keeping it moving, we are being intercepted by the distractors. So I had to stop and say, wait a minute, we fighting backwards. So now that Robert has been elected in Chicago and New York, my question is, and I'm going to shift the fight, but my question is, where's Robert's stuff? Nobody is talking about where Robert's stuff is at. You seen Sean come out and talk about me and Levi, but he never mentioned where Robert's stuff at. You seen the minions come out and attack me, Levi, Hollywood, Next, Prima Donna, Sky Zone, everybody. But where is Robert's stuff at? You see, the minute I start talking about that, the attacks start ramping up. The minute I talked about the Johns Creek storage going to New York and not Chicago, the attacks start ramping up. So the whole story is this. Right. Where's Jet Fly Leaks? While I was being told that Jet Fly Leaks wasn't a certain person. You see, when Richard Arline guy goes, Jet Fly Leaks guy goes, right? So where was the lie? At the end of the day, where's the stuff that was in the storage? Don came out and said him and Keith had it. You never heard Keith say nothing. But I know Sean came and got some stuff from Johns Creek. Now, make this make sense. How are you going to be attacking R. Kelly in the beginning? Attacking his defense fund in the beginning, to being a PI for him, to now overseeing his property that was here. Make it make sense. So while he lying, telling everybody, oh, Dana said that he was R. Kelly godson, that's a bold-faced fucking lie. I never said that. I never mentioned that. Even when Rob was gonna, I don't mean to bring this up because, man, Lolo cool now. But even when Rob was gonna have Lolo locked up for following the Sprinter, and he didn't know Lolo, I told him no. Where's Jen and Lindsay? It's like everybody disappeared. But you only see certain people in the forefront still talking, still keeping this man alive, still playing his music, still giving you a fallback stories. Make it make sense. Then you got the crash dummy talking about a man that R. Kelly never called. You don't know none of that. But I'm gonna say this: where's the picture that Sean had with R. Kelly? Where's the videos that Sean is in with R. Kelly? Like I say, if I could release a lot of stuff, I would. And I haven't. I'm talking about intimate moments. Me and Rob. From back in the day to now. How you the PI and you reading his letters and you there every day, you smuggling stuff out the way and smuggling stuff out the jail, but you don't have no pictures with him. You don't have no videos with him. How sway is that? Where are the pictures of you and Rob hanging? Of you and Rob at the restaurant? Where are they? Y'all say, I don't got none. Okay, fine. Let me see y'all. Shut me up. I'm just saying. It is what it is. I won't be defeated. I can't be defeated. No matter how much y'all try. I stand with that man hands down. And until y'all do half of what I've done, shut up. Plain and simple. That part right there, Prima. They know him so much, but don't know he prefers people not publicize shit. Why? Well, common sense. You see why. Facts. So I guess Rob told them to come and try to out me then. That's not even his character. And the first time I told Rob about bedbug, you know what Rob told me? Well, is he saying anything positive? I said, no. He said, well, if he's saying something positive, let it go. And then we shot him over what was being said. And he said, oh, that young man is so misguided. That's all he said. I was like, wow. I'm thinking Rob gonna go in. He said, that young man is so misguided. Even with Demetrius. They was in the Sprinter, low gas and Rob. Did you hear what Demetrius said about you? Rob said, this it? Listen to this, Dana. I listened to a little bit. I was like, I don't want to hear that. Rob said, I was good to all these people that stole from me. And he threw his hand down. 10 minutes later, at that time, I was recording in the Sprinter. He said, no. No recording in the Sprinter. Cut it off. And delete that. But I don't know. I get it. So until you can produce that young fella, I don't know, Sean. I need you to produce them pictures just like you produce the copy and the paste pictures of you being in the military and you knowing what the Flint was. One thing I know, two things for certain. If you've been somewhere and you had experience, it will not be the exact same experience as Google have, and it will not be word for word. That's plagiarism. I'm just saying. You don't gotta listen to me. Go look up the definition of plagiarism. So we're gonna dive into it. Kyrie Irving's Nets returns leads to Black Hebrew Israelites demonstrating outside Barclays Center. Boston Celtics forward Jaylen Brown appears to support the demonstration of his social media, right? The Brooklyn Nets reinstated Kyrie Irving because of public pressure, not because they wanted to. Prior to Sunday's night game against the Memphis Grizzlies, which prompted Black Hebrew Israelites to put on a large demonstration outside Barclays Center. The group is connected to the anti-Semitic film on Amazon that Irving posted to his social media, leading to his 8-game suspension by the Nets. The movie, Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, the same name of Ronald Dalton Jr.'s 2015 book, had a description that says the film uncovers the true identity of the children of Israel by proving the true ethnicity of Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, and Jacob, the sons of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Find out what Islam, Judaism, and Christianity has covered up for centuries in regards to the true biblical identity of the so-called Negro in this movie, packed with tons of research, right? This is their demonstration.
We shall get our kingdom too, and in that kingdom we shall rule. In that kingdom we shall rule. If we keep the laws in Christ, we shall never give up our mind. And we'll get our kingdom too. And it's that kingdom we shall rule.
All right. So Boston Celtics forward Jaylen Brown also seems to be supporting the demonstration on his social media, where he tweeted energy in response to a video of the group, right? Brown was vocal about Nets owner Joe Tsai's comments regarding Irving's suspension, where he said the controversial point guard still had work to do. Brown, one of the vice presidents of the National Basketball Players Association, initially called Tsai's remarks on Irving returning alarming. Celtics Jaylen Brown scrutinizes Nets owner amid Kyrie Irving's suspension, finds exec's response alarming. Tsai's response was alarming to me, Brown said via the New York Post. He didn't say that the organization was working together to get Kyrie back on the floor. He said that Kyrie had more work to do, and our society has more work to do, including Joe Tsai. Excuse me. It's 2022. It takes 10 minutes of time to see who these business owners, corporations, etc., who they're associated with and who they're doing business with, who they're affiliated with. I'm vice president of the union, and it's part of my job to protect our players legally. And to see co-founder and chairman of Nike, Phil Knight, first come out and condemn Kyrie, and also see Joe Tsai say he has more work to do, I think it's time for a larger conversation. That conversation the world ain't ready for. Why I say that? Because this right here. The only reason why Kyrie is back on the floor, because a lot of people have said, we're not supporting the Nets. We're not supporting the NBA. If you hit them where it hurts the most in their pockets, they will conform. They will give you a fake change. However, I still say this. I think every person of color should walk out of the NBA. I think every person of color should walk out of the NFL. Dana, why you say that? Because we are the product. For every Caucasian person they have, it's about 10 of us of color that are far more superior. You seen people saying they wasn't supporting LeBron James no more, and his stance changed. Make this make sense. Why Shaq not being suspended? Why Shaq not being cut off? Why Shaq don't have more work to do? Make this make sense. And he showed the film and had a hearing and a showing there with the director. Why Jeff Bezos ain't being counseled? His platform is showing it and making millions of dollars. His record sales, his video sales went through the roof. Jeff Bezos is hot now because and behind Hebrews to Negroes. But I'm going to give you something even deeper. They're afraid that a lot more people that they call conspiracy theorists last year are waking up to the truth. They're reading. And remember, they used to say, if you want to keep a colored man down, put it in a book. He don't read. Now you have more colored people reading. They're getting scared. Anytime the rabbi come out and say, well, Kyrie was right. There's no way the Caucasians could have been Hebrews. There's no way the Caucasians could have been Jews. Why? That means you had to work in the sun constantly. What happens when a Caucasian person gets in the sun? They burn. A melanated person, we don't burn because we have pigmentation to eat up the sun rays. So here's my thing. I hope Kyrie Irving bring out his own shoe line and say, hell with Nike, hell with Adidas. I hope we as a color can open up our own NBA, and it'll be much better than their product. I'm going to ask this question. Who you going to go see? JJ Redick or Kyrie Irving? Let's make this make sense. Sure. Call in, Vi. 404-914-7986. Call in. Who you going to go see? LeBron James or Dellavedova? But then let's go here. They don't have no Caucasian stars. All their stars come from different countries. They don't have no different stars. Make it make sense. The Caucasians don't have superstars. Their last superstar was Larry Bird. Their last star was White Chocolate. Jason Williams. Everybody else you see is not of a Caucasian descent. Make it make sense. If y'all want to call in and talk about this, call in. The number's there on the screen. As of right Now, that's the call-in number. That part, Queen B. And when a lot more of us disconnect from the matrix, it will be so much better. You will see what's going on. You will understand where Marvin Gaye was coming from when he talked about what's going on. You will understand that. A lot of folks don't understand, but you will understand. So, as I wait, because Vi said he wanted to call in about the subject, I'm trying to wait for Vi to come. Hey, TT. What up, Judah? I'm trying to wait for Vi to come. But I am ready to move forward. But Vi said he want to call in, so shoot, let Vi call in. Hold on. Todd Chrisley has been sentenced to 12 years in federal prison, and Julie Chrisley has been sentenced to 7 years for tax evasion. Wow. Live on the Dana J Show. How can I help you?
What's up, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, you was on that Jeff Bezos tip. You know why NBA ain't going after him is because he gave him a proposition offer of $1 billion like he did with the NFL too. That's why all the Thursday night football games is on Amazon Prime. So they trying to get that money. He offered them some money to have certain NBA games be on Amazon Prime. So they ain't gonna go after him the way they going after Kyrie. You would think they would go after you want to kill the book. You want to go after the source of the book, not the person who retweeted about the book.
Right.
But at the same time, now if you in business with this person, that's $1 billion. $1 billion. The way they see it, they don't matter because of Kyrie says so. But we still gonna try to work this deal out with, getting this $1 billion deal with Jeff Bezos.
Well, but I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna keep it strictly business. The only reason why they're going after Kyrie like this, is because of the fact that Kyrie exposed the
vaccine.
Yeah, for the jab.
I agree. But I feel like the thing, and another thing with these movements, with these type of movements is, when you get people that come out and make bold statements like Kyrie, really, he made a statement because he didn't say nothing. He just reposted something, but the energy that he got. And now you hear him on every interview he do now, he's apologizing. Like, what are you apologizing when you saying did nothing wrong? I don't know. That's when it comes to our people, like you said, with LeBron James. When our people, put them under pressure, then they hold all of a sudden everybody who was calling this Kyrie ignorant or idiot or different things like that, when our people, start tagging them and, bringing awareness to their situation, then all of a sudden, I stand with Kyrie, or this is wrong, but these list of demands is wrong. Why do we have to stand with our brother only because this list of demands is wrong, other than standing with him when these people came and attacked him in the beginning? It's so many different ways you can look at this whole situation, but I did see Kanye got a new thing out. He took all his Balenciaga, Beatles, Gap, all his clothing, and he got him a warehouse now. And he's stamping his 2024 campaign on all of his merchandise, selling it for $20. Balenciaga, Adidas, whatever, $20.
Well, and you know he running against my guy, so that's not gonna work.
Well, it ain't gotta work. It's just simple fact that what he doing, you
Right.
took all, they dropped you, okay, but you taking all, you buying everything that you own from them companies, so they can't sell nothing with your likeness that was created. You taking it and then you rebranding it with your Ye 2024 on there, and you selling this shit for $20. So not only did they lose money by dropping him, they finna lose money even more so. Now that he took all of this shit, they can't sell nothing with his likeness and image too.
Facts.
So they finna hurt their pockets even more. So it goes back to what like he was saying, making things more affordable. And like that many little town, I think he said he's finna build it in Atlanta. You probably know, you'll probably hear about that because you died now. So he said he's finna build one of them developments in Atlanta. He said he gonna build one somewhere in California. He got like 3 different states. He said he gonna start with building these little towns or whatever. So the dude, he got some good stuff. I think it's a part of his campaign too. At the same time, this promotion and marketing. But I mean, he ain't standing down on none of the things that he said when he came out and said what he said.
Right.
So that's the importance of it. Like you doing your thing, man. You just got you stand on their neck, keep bringing the pressure. But our people, we can't fold. Because they put this money on us and they put it in our face, and a lot of people not willing to walk away. But like Kanye said, we not understanding that we quit and we leave and go and create our own with the way that the world is set up today. It's set up for us to create our own way of doing things and still be able to succeed. But but our people are still looking to be fed from these people who can cut your lights off whenever they feel as though you're not doing or complying with whatever it is that they say do.
And I don't understand like why people scared to say, I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need it. It's like they take whatever they give them and say, okay, here's what it is. Just like it's just crazy. It's just crazy because I looked at the child support situation a little deeper. And what I didn't know is that females sign their rights and their offspring rights away.
Yeah. You want to hear something? Do you want me to record this shit next time? I can call my
Stop cussing, Bob.
I can call the child support lady that I had over my case. I had to get, when my son's mom got killed, I had to get custody of my son.
Right.
So when I called these people trying to figure out what was going on, because I never paid child support for my son, but when we went to court, it showed that I was the provider because his mama wasn't working at the time, but we were living together, and I'm the only one who was working, so they couldn't make me pay support for him because I provide for the family. So when she passed away, and I was going through the custody deal. So when I called down and talked to one of the workers or whatnot, the lady was telling me like, we see you have a case and you went to court X, Y, Z this time. Yeah, but it's showing here that the mother is not even he's not, your child is not even in the custody of the mom either. I was like, what? She like, no. She said the child wasn't even in her custody. So if you would have took him at any point in time, there was nothing that she could have done.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Wow.
So I had to go through the state to regain custody of my son. It's not nothing with her. I didn't have to have no death certificate, nothing.
And I would have sued the state.
explain, man. It messed my head up when I had told Toy, I'm like, these people told me that girl, you have custody of our son.
Wow.
Facts. Once you sign up, when you pay that $35 application fee,
you sign away your rights. Yeah.
You sign away your rights.
Yep. And a lot of people don't understand that you're not hurting the father. You're hurting you and the kid.
Yeah. That's why they changed that's why when you do the application, you sign your rights away. That's why they turned the party into
an obligor or
an obligee,
right, an
custodial parent or non-custodial parent. If it's your child, why do this application you speak on your behalf in third person? So, but a lot of people don't catch that. Even like myself, I wasn't aware of it then, but at this point, if I ever have another child again, I'm not participating or signing up to be a part of nothing that they have.
Facts.
It's just that.
All right, bro. But let me go ahead.
Man, I'm listening in, man.
Okay. I appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
All right. What up, Toy? What up, Fantasia? Fantasia said Victoria's Secret is a man, a white man. At that, while y'all running up in there buying their candles and not buying mine, same low price, but I got better everything. Fantasia crazy. But she told the truth. Toy said Adidas lost $247 million. Kanye won all the way around the board. Facts. So I'm going to exit that. I'm going to keep on moving. And I'm going to get into these record labels. For a lot of people that don't know, Meek Mill has been off of a label and he refused to sign back to another major. But it gets deeper. How many of y'all know this? That Meek Mill wants to drop his album on JPay or Cash App because he doesn't want to get paid $1 every 1,000 streams. Make it make sense. $1 every 1,000 streams. So 1,000 streams is $40,000. So if 1,000 streams is $40,000 and you only get $1 out of 40,000, how much you think the label getting? How much you think the label is getting? The call-in number is on the screen, Fantasia. Oh, I just took it off. How much you think the label is getting? So let's read a little bit. The source is from the Source Streaming. Meek Mill wants to do away with streaming services. Meek Mill has long been against mainstream labels and modern ways of distributing music, and he's never shied away from expressing it. He hopped on Twitter Thursday, November the 17th, announcing that he wants to evade streaming platforms and put his album on JPay or Cash App, saying he wants to earn directly from his records. I want to drop an album on JPay or Cash App, Meek wrote. Like I used to sell my shit in the street. I'm not trying to get paid $1 every 1,000 streams. Every 1,000 streams. Laugh out loud. Who made that up? TF. Y'all know what that means. The fuck? The Dream Chasers leader also revealed that he won't add his upcoming project, Flame Flamers 5 on no streaming services because it's strictly underground music. He also said he doesn't want Billboard to rate it and that he can make the United States world play it with one upload button. He added that he'd rather upload the tape on DatPiff, My Mixtape, SoundCloud, and Audio Mac, since he only made 8 cents off every dollar on stream platforms anyway. Meek has previously complained about getting undercompensated and not knowing how much his label makes from his albums. And it looks like he maintains his stand. And one of his rants, on his series of tweets he launched against the music industry, he claimed that when artists say they song went 5 times platinum, he asked them, how much did that song make in total? And how much did you make as the creator? He continued that 99% of them get stuck, of course. The Blue Notes 2 rapper also dubbed plaques as a mental trick to distract artists from asking for their funds they deserve. Wow. Wow. He said, I learned life guidelines through Jay and Kiss, Lil Wayne, Ross, Tupac. Cool. 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 Hold on. I don't know what's going on with this. Hold on. Boy, you get to talking the truth. These boys always want to do something crazy. There we go. All right. I always wondered why the Michael Jackson collection was so deep. So check this out. George Harrison thought it was strange that Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog because he was supposed to be Paul McCartney's friend. Wait a minute. George Harrison thought it was strange that Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog because he was supposed to be Paul McCartney's friend. Let's read. George Harrison thought it was strange that Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog because he was supposed to be Paul McCartney's friend. Jackson bought all of Paul and John Lennon's songs, plus some of George's in 1985. Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog in 1985. In 1963, music publisher Dick James was new to the music publishing world. However, he wanted to be the Beatles publisher to wow the band's manager, Brian Epstein. Brian Epstein. Make it make sense. He organized the group's first TV performance on Thank Your Lucky Stars. Then James suggested he and Epstein start Northern Songs to house Lennon-McCartney songs, as well as George and Ringo stars. Epstein and the Beatles signed the necessary contracts to not really knowing what it was all about. Paul said, per the Beatles Bible, John and I didn't know you could own songs. Paul said, I thought they just existed in the air. We could not see how it was possible to own them. We could see owning a house, a guitar, or a car. They were physical objects, but a song not being a physical object, we couldn't see how it was possible to have a copyright in it. And therefore, with great glee, publishers saw us coming. We said to them, can we have our own company? They said, yeah. We said, our own. They said, yeah, you can. You're great. This is what we're going to do now. So we really thought that meant 100% own. But of course, it turned out to be 49% to me and John and Brian and 51% to Dick James and Charles Silver, Paul explained. By 1965, the company had been restructured. John and Paul each owned 15%. Dick James Music held 7%. His family had 15%. Dick James Music's co-director, Emmanuel Charles Silver, had 15%. And NIMS Enterprise owned 7%. Harrison and Starr held only 1.6% between them. Damn, so they had to split 1.6%. What is the split between 1.6%? That's 53% apiece. Wow. That's 0.53%. That's not even a whole cent. That's 0.53% apiece. In 1968, George and Ringo opted not to renew their contracts with Northern Songs. The following year, the Beatles' fruitful relationship with James soared when he sold Northern Songs to Sir Lou Grade, who ran the British television network ATV, without offering the group an opportunity to buy it. He profited hugely from the sale, and John and Paul lost control of the rights to their songs. In 1985, the rights to the Beatles catalog and others went up for a public auction. Jackson bought the collection of 4,000 songs, including 250 by Lennon and McCartney, for $47.5 million. It is possibly good that John and Paul limited the number of George songs per Beatles album. Otherwise, James would have owned more of his songs. In 1987 interview with Cream magazine, George said he was glad he didn't write too many Beatles songs. Later in 1988, George told CNN that it was strange that Jackson bought the Beatles catalog because he was supposed to be Paul's friend. The pair had recorded Say, Say, Say for Paul's 1983 album, Pipes of Peace. However, during their collaboration, Paul gave Jackson some music publishing advice, to which the Thriller singer replied, "One day I'll own your songs." CNN asked George how he felt about Jackson owning the Beatles catalog. "I thought it was very strange because he was supposed to be Paul's friend," George replied. "Personally, I only have about 10 to 12 songs that was in that catalog. I still like them back, Michael. They don't make him that much money. I want them to give to my boy and my will." Now watch this. If y'all don't see what's going on, y'all see how George got into Paul's ear and now they bad talking Michael. So if they bad talking Michael now, what make you think they wasn't plotting to get Mike out the way then? Now, with that being said, you understand why R. Kelly was a target. Not just so much by the record labels, but you got to look at the higher ups. Paul McCartney is definitely a higher up. Quincy Jones is definitely a higher up. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. They are definitely higher ups. And what do you do when the higher ups want their stuff? You get the people out the way. You get the people out the way. Thank you, Cali girl. Matter of fact, I'm getting off here so I can go watch the rest of the Niners. I believe they plotted with Sony. Yeah, hold on. You're live on the Dana J Show. How can I help you, caller?
This Judah.
What's going on, Judah?
I want to say this. Now, I just found this out. If it's true, every time an artist sells 500,000 copies of their album,
it's $5 million.
Right. So if they sell 5 million, that's 50. So what happened to all that money? And then that's not even including the singles, because the singles can sell 5 million. That's a lot of money that these artists sitting on. And that's a shame that they had to file bankruptcy. They had to do all this. It's not making sense.
Not at all.
It's not making sense at all. So that's even with the Michael Jackson. Like, dang, I was shocked. Like, wow, he bought this, he got all this. And they try to take the man down at the same damn time.
That's why Master P came up with a plan of owning your own stuff, doing it your own way, and moving and without a label. But a lot of people wasn't trying to hear that. A lot of people was like, oh, the label gave us 50,000. Or the label gave us 200,000 up front. Yeah, and you got 200,000 up front, but you got to pay that back in recoupment. If they want to recoup that, plus what they paid for your studio time, plus what they paid and for your pictures, and plus what they paid and for somebody to come and build you up.
Yeah. And there'd be enough money there. There'd be enough money there for everybody. It's just some people is greedy.
Do it. How can you say it'd be enough money there and it's not no money in the United States?
Well, at that time we didn't even.
It's it's currency.
Right.
If you're saying that there's enough currency there, well, and you can't really say that because how can you say there's enough currency there and all of them got to triple feed their family and their self?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're right. That's crazy.
Make it make sense.
That's crazy. And just like when Meek Mill said about the streamings, I remember when they started leaking people music online. It was late 90s, early 2000s. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But people were still selling records at that time. And then next thing you know, it's just everybody was on BearShare. I don't think you remember BearShare. And then it came in with Apple, download Apple and all that. And it's just like, man, it went downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then if their album get leaked, you can't even do nothing to the person who leaked it.
Well, you can, but the question is your label going to do something about it?
Right. Right. Yep. Wow. Because I remember those days, people album get leaked, they had to go in and switch out and the songs and put, man, that was tough.
Right. You're right.
That was real tough.
Right.
Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm still watching the show.
Okay, cool. I appreciate you, bro.
All
right. Now, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to exit the labels. Now y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what it is. Now you understand why they don't want Robert out. Because if Robert ever get control of his masters, which that would be a dangerous thing, because you see how they play. But if Robert was to ever get a hold of his masters, he will control music. Because nobody masters is bigger than his. So let's exit that. Let's enter into the pedophiles. I told y'all it's coming. Now make this make sense. Here she go. Here she go. Ghislaine Maxwell, a judge unsealed identities of anonymous John Does in Ghislaine Maxwell litigation. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Several names were of Jeffrey Epstein victims, not powerful associates. So they change the names of the people who really told and gave them different aliases. One, a subject of intense media coverage, was allowed to remain anonymous and pursue an appeal. Why would you get an appeal and she been sentenced to 20-something years? That don't make sense. A judge agreed to make public the names of several John Does who tried to keep their identities secret in the long-running litigation between Jeffrey Epstein's associate Ghislaine Maxwell and Virginia Giuffre, an Epstein victim. One of them, however, identified as Jane Doe 183 in court filings, will remain anonymous despite being the subject of intense media coverage, and was repeatedly named in Maxwell's sex trafficking trial. Loretta A. Presky, the semi-retired federal judge overseeing the case, said in a court hearing Friday afternoon that John Doe 183's name ought to be made public, but that she would stay her own ruling to permit the person to pursue an appeal. That Doe's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein has been a subject of intense media coverage, and Doe 183's name has appeared in numerous places in unsealed portions of Maxwell's criminal trial transcript. Prescott said in the Friday hearing, in the court's view, there's no reason to redact Doe 183 from the documents. Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison after being convicted in December for trafficking multiple girls to Epstein for sex and for sexually abusing several of them herself. Epstein died in jail while awaiting trial for related charges in 2019. Evidence presented in her trial drew connections between her and Epstein and numerous powerful acquaintances, including former presidents Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, who settled his own lawsuit with Jeffrey, journalist Mike Wallace, and astronaut John Glenn. Stop for a minute. They quick to throw Donald Trump in this, right? Donald Trump has came out and said that he'd never been to the island, and they can't prove it. However, Bill Clinton ain't say nothing about it at all. Make it make sense. Alan Dershowitz, another former acquaintance of the now dead pedophile financer, who also settled a lawsuit with Jeffrey, has long sought to unseal material from the lawsuit as well, claiming it would disapprove Jeffrey's misconduct allegations against him. While the public has largely speculated that the 16 John Does who lodged objections to making their identities public were all powerful acquaintances of Epstein and Maxwell, that isn't the case. Two of the people whose identities were unsealed Friday include apparent victims of Epstein, who Preska said should no longer remain anonymous because of the public nature of their accusations. One is Emmy Tyler, who filed a lawsuit this summer against a journalist she said misrepresented her experience with Epstein and Maxwell. The other was Sarah Ransom, who wrote a book about her experience, granted numerous media interviews, and spoke at Maxwell's sentencing hearing. A third victim, Preska ruled Friday, would have their identity remain sealed because of the ongoing trauma from their experience. The other people whose identities were unsealed, Preska said, had only marginal connections to Epstein and Maxwell. That includes the hotel magnate Thomas Pritzker, the cousin of Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. Pritzker said his name came up in the context of a deposition where the witness said they didn't recognize him. The filings arose from a lawsuit Guthrie filed against Maxwell in 2015 in Manhattan federal court, accusing her of defamation when the British socialite called Jeffrey a liar. It settled in 2017, but has enjoyed a long afterlife stretching to more than 1,200 docket entries, as Guthrie has sought to unseal thousands of pages of deposition transcripts and other documents filed in the case, with the exception of John Doe 183. Friday hearing ends the saga of the anonymous John Does. After Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking girls with Epstein in December 2021, she dropped her objections to keeping the names of certain John Doe parties secret. 16 of those anonymous parties, however, lodged their own objections to making their names public. Preska previously ruled in April whether to unseal the other 8 people who initially lodged objections. She ultimately unredacted the names of hedge fund manager Glenn Dublin and his wife Eva Dublin, longstanding friends of Epstein's, and their butler Ronald Rizzo. According to Inner City Press, Eva Dublin testified at Maxwell's trial, providing details about her friendship with Epstein in the 1980s and 1990s. Preska ruled that the others were either not relevant or only marginal relevant to the litigation. I got to get that paperwork. I'm going to get that paperwork. Oh yeah, if that's the last thing I do, I'm gonna get that paperwork. However, we've been bamboozled, y'all. We seen Disney get hit with pedophile rings and everything. They even locked Bob Yeager up on a Saturday, and Sunday he was giving interviews on Oprah Winfrey Show. I told y'all They're not going to allow us to go in their community and get their folks. But we allow them to come in our communities and grab our folks. So if you get caught for sex trafficking, over 745 girls, and it's all on tape, and you run two of the biggest Disney theme parks there is, shouldn't you get some time? I'm gonna tell you how much time he got. He got a week on house arrest. That was it. Watch this. And all of his pedophile ring stuff wiped clean. Check it out. This is what people should be advocating about. Bob Yeager, you don't see nothing about pedophile stuff. You don't see nothing about pedophile stuff. Bob Yeager, you don't see nothing about pedophile stuff. Him and Oprah. You don't see nothing about anything pedophile. There's nothing remotely to him being a pedophile on here. Right? But you want to know what happened? Bob Yeager named Disney CEO again, replacing Bob Chapek, and a shot to Hollywood. Bob Yeager, one of the most successful CEOs in the history of the Walt Disney Company, is returning to once again run the media empire. It's a shocking development at Hollywood's biggest company. Bob Chapek, who replaced Yeager in 2020 as CEO, is stepping down immediately. We thank Bob Chapek for his service to Disney over his long career, including navigating the company through the unprecedented challenges of the pandemic. Susan Arnold, chairman of the board for Disney, said in a statement on Sunday night, the board has concluded that as Disney embarks on an increasingly complex period of industry transformation, Bob Yeager is uniquely situated to lead the company through this pivotal period. Investors cheered the news, sending Disney shares up 9%. Monday, after the stock has lost roughly 36% of its value this year. The announcement, while surprising to the media industry, comes at the time of great evolution for Disney. The company is coming off a lackluster earnings report that showed growth for its streaming endeavors. However, that came at a great cost. Disney's streaming business lost $1.5 billion in the fourth quarter. That report sent Disney stock tumbling after a year of sluggish to bad performance. Wow. They don't even mention anything in here. Now watch this. Chapek guided Disney through the pandemic. One of the most tumultuous periods in the company's nearly 100-year history. But ultimately, Disney decided that its future was in better hands with Yeager. Away from the pandemic, Chapek had a short but bumpy tenure as the head of Disney. Chapek, who served as chairman of Disney Parks Experiences and Products before taking over for Yeager, found himself dealing with issues regarding pay with Scarlett Johansson, one of the company's biggest stars, as well as Disney's battles with Florida and his own employees regarding the state's controversial bill restricting certain LGBTQ topics in the classroom. That in particular was a flashpoint for Shebek's stint at Disney. In March, he was forced to apologize for his silence on Florida's controversial bill after initially declining to comment on it. Speaking to you regarding your messages and meeting with you have helped me better understand how painful our silence was, Shebek wrote in a letter to employees. Stop. This bill that they talking about was the bill that the Republicans shot down. So, if this is not alarming that they are going back to trafficking kids at the theme parks, I don't know what is. Shebek spent weeks doing damage control, telling employees that Disney was increasing our support for advocacy groups to combat similar legislation in other states, and that the company is hard at work creating a new framework for our political giving that will ensure our advocacy better reflects our values. His public stance was in stark contrast to Yeager, who took a public stance against the Florida bill. A lot of these issues are not necessarily political. Yeager told CNN host Chris Wallace in March, it's about right and wrong. So I happened to feel, and I tweeted an opinion about the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. To me, it wasn't about politics. It was about what is right and what is wrong. And that just seemed wrong. It seemed potentially harmful to kids. Wait a minute. Bob Yeager, when did you give a hell about kids? When did you care about kids? I get it. You only care about kids so that way you can get the adrenochrome. So I'm lost, man. I'm lost. So with that being said, man, but I ask y'all to stand with me, man, in a band to Disney. I'm gonna start putting some stuff on my community wall, showing y'all how perverted Disney has gotten and where Disney is going at. I mean, it's sickening. We watched DuckTales for years. When did one of the DuckTale people become gay? Come on, man. Come on, man. Since when Donald Duck become a pervert? Come on, man. It's time to stand against the pedophile nature. Hey, how you doing? It's time to stand against the pedophile nature. But if anybody want to call in 404-914-7986. Trust me, stay away from Disney, man. And I love The Lion King, but I won't show it. This is about trafficking kids, man. This is not about nothing else. This is about going after the kids. Sickening. It's sickening. It's sickening. And now they got people going after them. It's sickening. But look, I'm about to get out your way, man. I'm about to get out your way. Love every last one of y'all. Dream team for life. I see y'all tomorrow. I'm about to get out your way. And we're going to do what we do. All right? Be blessed. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. This is where we going. Straight, narrow path. From the receipt man himself. Love every last one of y'all. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important. Be yourself. And also remember, elephants don't swat flies. And planes, jets, they fly over turbulence. I see y'all guys tomorrow. And also remember, stay away from the frauds that copy and paste like they in the military. Dana J. Gone. 1.
Swimming in you. Hey, little mama said I wanna take her. Dipping your pool. Just go for a little dive there. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.
detoxify from my yearning. Yeah, my mind is a warning. Pray to the one you're relying. I've been wandering all day, tried to be fine, but I can't be. The noise in my mind wouldn't leave me. Tried to get by, but I'm burning. I'm behind, my mind it runs. All these thoughts are troubling. Starting to give up my pain, ready to be on my lane. My mind running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need. Why yet? I really need China. I need a free mind now. I really need my love. I need to save my mind now. I really need China. I need a free mind now. I really need my now. Oh, yeah. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Send me in love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Finding a way when you cannot see. Man with this system you cannot pray. I need to find relief. Far behind my mind it runs. All these thoughts have doubling. Ready to give out my vein. Ready to be down my lane. I might running to the other side. When it's time to leave my life, then it tries to take me out. Tell you what I need. I really need a free mind. I need a free mind. I need a